Alright, I had a bad day today. Alright, past tense. Not having a horrible day. I'm not continuing the bad chain of it. I was not practicing what I preach, which is don't go into a place already predicting what's going to happen, creating bad scenarios in your head or the worst scenario that could happen, because you're just going to spiral, and that's what happened. I was in class, and in my head I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to be late. This person's going to be like this when I get there. They're going to think this way of me. The traffic's going to be horrible. This is going to be horrible. And I'm like, what am I doing? Like, in the middle of that, I knew what I was thinking, and the way I was processing things in my head was not the way to go. But I kept doing it because I don't know if it's just comfort. But yeah, I literally was on the mess of breaking down, sobbing in class. I had to wipe away one tear, and I was like, alright, I gotta go to the bathroom. So I went to the bathroom, and then I literally did deep breaths, and I was in the mirror. No one was in the bathroom, but whatever. I was in the mirror, I was talking to myself, and I was like, breathe, relax, stop not practicing what you preach, which is stop assuming the worst, creating a negative future, because literally everything is just energy and alignment. If you, for example, before you go to the gym or before going to a restaurant, why are you creating the worst scenario or worst situation possible? Let's say you're going to go on a date at this restaurant, and you're a little nervous because obviously you want to pick the perfect restaurant with the perfect dishes, with the perfect ambiance. If you're on the way to the restaurant and you're like, oh, they're not going to have the lighting I want, they're not going to have the music I want, it's going to be awkward, it's going to be that way. It's going to be that way if you think that way, because your brain is automatically, when you're there at the restaurant, going to try to find those things and connect those things with that emotion. You're creating a negative experience before you'll even get to feel the real experience. So, I was thinking very bad, worst case scenario, about what I was going to do after school. And of course, in that bad mood, everything ticks you off, of course. Get in my car, traffic was bad. I get in my car, my Apple CarPlay wasn't working. My GPS wasn't working, so I got super bad breakdown, screaming, crying. I know if I was more positive, I would be way more relaxed. I wouldn't have had that breakdown. I wouldn't have been building up into this huge breakdown. You know what I mean? And that reminded me also to this quote that I read a bit ago. You have yourself, your conscious speaking out loud, and you have your subconscious, that person that talks in your head. Just come to the conclusion of is that person that's talking in your head speaking positively or negatively most of the time? And would you want the person that's speaking in your head to create your future? Simple as that. And literally that answer tells you which direction you need to go. If you said that the person that's in my head usually is super negative, she's like this, she's like this, then you need to change that. You need to change that, because that is you. That is you. You can only rely on yourself for your future, not your mom, not your dad, because real life scenario, not everyone has a mom or a dad. Everyone has only themselves. You wake up and you go to bed with yourself. Your thoughts, yourself. So you really need to think, is the person in your head who you want to create your future or determine your future? If you say no, you need to change a lot. Fortunately, I do speak very positively to myself in my head. I'm very aligned in this positive path, and I know I'm going to get where I want to be. So I'm very confident in me and the girl in here. Yeah, but of course I'm human. I have moments like today, and I'm good now. I'm glad I reflected. But anyways, I'm gonna go inside. I'm gonna go study and do my things. And I'm gonna go outside and do a little nature walk. And that's about it. So I hope this can reach out to anyone else who needs to hear this or likes to hear these little talks that I do. And I'm gonna be posting these little clippets on TikTok too, because why not? I will see y'all next week. So, peace. Bye.